Good evening, everybody. Things are a little weird here, but yeah. Tenacious Earl, and this is going to be the third round simulation of the Masterful Tournament, the first major on the Tenacious Golf Tour. Really need to get this tournament moving and get it squared away before we can go any further in other projects. Really want to have this thing, figured out and quote unquote done and dusted, if you will. Lots of different euphemisms you can use to ascribe to this, but so we are going to be using Plaay, Plaay, their history maker golf game and what they call tournament mode. And in that, there is a way that you simulate the third round of the tournament. We've already done the cut determination. And if you're interested in that and don't want to see this part of it, you want to see how we determine who makes the cut and who doesn't, check out the video just a little bit earlier in this channel's feed, and you will see it. It's listed there. We've got 52 golfers looking to try and get into the final pairings, and we will see if we'll see who gets into those. So let's get this camera mounted and let's get this over with. I don't mean to make it sound so desperate or whatnot, but hi Ken, one of the regulars around these parts, to use some down home vernacular here. All right, so I'm trying to get everything in the shot. It's not the easiest, but actually it would be easier if I just moved this over. So we got Champions Course there off to the side. That's where this tournament's being played. Yeah, I could do this. Much easier. So what's going to happen is we roll two six-sided dice. And there is a chart which is over here completing third round. I will try and hold it up here without it glowing too much. If you want to pause it, before you pause it, recall that these little lightning bolt kind of cautionary symbols, those are actually indicating that, for instance, if you roll an 11, the top golfer in a pile ends up with either a tourney perk or an issue. So that means he either gets a boost or he gets knocked down a peg. It usually says one golfer will be near the top, and then the others will finish somewhere down the list or contend somewhere down the list. And sometimes it's one, you have two different golfers that happen to. I'll explain as we go. First off, I just wanted to say thanks to Keith at Plaay. I purchased some extra decider dice. I got 6 of them. I gave my son one for the time being until he decides he's going to lose it. But it's kind of nice to have some extras. I was looking for one for second season, so that's what I did. All right, so down here at the bottom of the screen, if you can see down here, are the outstanding golfers, Mackay Berry and Darren Sears. They're going to be their own pile. I'll put it right here, and then we're going to make 7 others out of the made the cut pile. So there are 50 that made the cut that aren't in that outstanding group. And so they're going to make up 7 piles. So there should be, what's that? About 7 per pile. And probably, I would say, roughly 1.5 out of every pile will end up somewhere in good shape. So, okay, I'm just trying to shuffle them a bit. Also, time for another lager. You know what? I had one last night. It helped the situation, and this will tonight as well. Cheers on a great third round here. Another thing Jim Nance probably doesn't do while he's calling the game is drink a lager. It seems more like a scotch and soda type anyway, doesn't he? Not that there's anything wrong with scotch and soda, but... Okay, so I've shuffled these up. This is pile 8. We need to figure out a way to make 7 equal piles here, so what we're going to do is we're going to start... I'm going to try to take a third, I guess. Oh, this one's a little hefty. Alright, that's pretty good. Now we'll try to cut these in half. So we're just, again, trying to come up with equal piles, and then I'm going to try and take, I'm going to take one out, actually I'll take 2 out of this pile and then 1 out of the rest, and that should roughly make a third of equal proportion to the others, right? Because we said about 7 per. No, that doesn't seem right, quite right. These guys seem a little heavier. Let's try taking 1 from here. Okay, we'll call that pretty good. Okay, so we have 7. All right. Now we have a total of 8. These guys are good. Good to go. These guys are outstanding. Now, what do I need to do? So we're going to do each pile, and we're going to roll 2 dice. And where can I do that? Got a bunch of junk hanging out here. Do I have room right here? I have a little bit of room, but it's going to get right down in on my A+. So again, we have designations that come up. All right, so that's what we'll do. We'll have designations that come up for each of these piles. Unfortunately, because, well, let's see, I can probably tilt this just a little bit more. Because up here doesn't really matter, right? Okay. Hey, that's good. We're in good shape. So what we do is we're going to roll the 2 d6s, and we will see what our chart here says. So for the first pile, it's going to be 36. 36. Top golfer contends with A-, low golfer finishes with D-, others finish with C-. So no drawing in this one. We just look through here. Adam Trenchard starts out on top. Messick to Manello. Okay, Rodell beats out Trenchard. Kanishi, no good. Novak, no good. Sykes. Boyd Yeager. So your low golfer is what? Ray Tuminello? Let me double check all these. I think these are all 2s and 3s besides Ray. So Ray is going to finish at D- over here. Everybody except Carson Rodell will be finishing at C-. And let's see, the top golfer contends with A-. So we'll put Rodell right here. Okay, so there. That's one that's definitely established on the leaderboard. Now, pile number 2. Okay, 25. We will look on the chart. Okay, we draw a golfer to get a tourney perk, and he's going to be at A. And then the top golfer is going to be at A-. And then the others are going to finish with C. So let's... Since we're going to draw, I'm going to try and make it a little bit, what do you want to call it, dramatic here. And looky here, we've got 7 right on the money. So we're going to be up through 14 here. That's all we can do. But we're going to roll this out. 1 through 14, we'll re-roll over 14. It's a 5. So golfer number 5 will get a tourney, perk, or issue. And will, with a 25, contend with A. And that'll be Justin Wallace. So this is at Champions Course in Augusta, remember. So let's put Justin Wallace on our list here. Tourney, perks, and issues. So now, the top remaining golfer contends with A-. So we've got 2C, 2A. Rance Aberley jumps over, and we have one more left. It'll be Rance Aberley, who will go on the pile there with Carson Rodell. The rest of these guys will finish up at C right here. Okay, so 2 piles done. Hi, Jerry. 2 piles, 6 to go, including the outstanding. We're going to roll another one here. Let me get this out of my way. 24. So we'll show you here. 24. The top golfer contends with an A and also gets a perk. The others will finish with C+. So we just turn them over here. So Marshall Weber. Yun Lee Song is a 1B. Gail Honorado. Duncan Kramer. So still nobody beats him out there with Yun Lee Song. There's Lanny Saxerholt with a 3A. Danny Gallatin a 3A. So it's going to be Yun Lee Song. The top golfer is going to contend with A. Get a perk. And all these other golfers will finish at C+. Okay. Next pile. Oh. Oh boy, I missed. And I have no clue where that went. Let's see if I can find it here this time. Yeah, nice. Found it. Okay, so we'll re-roll this green one. 33. It's easy to miss that box somehow, for me at least. Maybe it's the logger. Okay, so with a 33, the top golfer will contend with A and also get that. The others will finish with C. So again, we don't have to draw. The top golfer will also get a tourney perk or issue. Chip Connors. There's Greer Copeland. Gil Granbury, he goes to the front of the line. Trent McAdams. Gareth Leonard and Stuart Ash. So these guys are all going to finish with a C. So what we do here, in the case of a tie, which we have a 3-way tie, we use the decider die. If the decider die is yes, he will get the tourney perk and go to A. If it's a no, then they contend with B+. And I want to verify that before I go any further. I'm pretty sure I'm correct on that, but I'm still catching the still have to make sure about that. Yeah, they contend with B+. So okay, Gil Granbury first. He is a no. You can see it way over here. So he will contend with B+. Now Trent McAdams, he's also a no. He'll be at B+. And now Gareth Leonard, He's a yes, so he will get a tourney perk and contend at A. Okay, we're halfway through. So pile number 4, 46. So a 46, we draw a golfer to contend with A minus. The low golfer finishes with D minus, and the others finish with D. So this is going to be a little bit more of a continuum as far as how the finishers go. Some of these I've really had things pile up at B plus or B. I've had some repeat rolls, things like that. So, but we're going to have a draw golfer here to contend to A minus. So there's 6, 7, 8. So we're at 8. Now we're going to roll the D20. We can go up to 16 with this. And it's 19, so we're going to have to re-roll. Another 19. How about that? Go play that on your lotto. And there's 16, so we've got 8. It's going to be the last guy standing. Martin Van Dyke will be at A minus. So now we've got what? 8 here. So who gets snubbed? And so we're going to have the low golfer finishing at D minus. We got Heath Sommers in this mix. He's going to miss out. The low golfer is Ellis Moberly with a 3C. He's going to finish out there with 2 Manello, and we're going to have the rest of these guys finish at D. So, correct? Yes, D. Okay. So now the next pile. Hi, Tribe fan. Pile number 6. It's a 25. So I'll show you here. We're going to draw a golfer who's going to contend with A and get a perk. Top golfer will contend with A minus. The others will finish with C. I think we might have had a 25 previously. So here we go. There's 5. So we've got 8. And we're going to draw. Again, we can go up to 16 on the draw. So it's a 5 right here. Myung Cho will get a perk or issue. I believe. I've got to take a look. But first, 5. Let me just double check. 25, yes, with A. So he's at A. I got to look at my list here. My TFN list. I think Myung Cho is still on that. Let's see. What's he carrying over? He is still Stormy. Although I think he may... With that last injury, I think he may have he was able to just come off of that. So, the injury to, who was that? Wyatt Sells. I think that might have brought Myung Cho off of the Schneid there. So let's see. We're going to roll these over. The top golfer will be at B, will be at A minus. Enrique Magallanes is standing there. But Dustin Emmerich is the one who conquers. So Magallanes will C. He's going to finish with a C along with the other golfers in this group. So he gets ixnayed by Emmerich A or whatever. Eric May. Maybe that's how you say it. Eric May. All right. So one last pile that is non-outstanding, and we've got, what do we got? 10 golfers here, which is good. Hopefully we get 2 more. All right, 36. Top golfer will be A minus. Low golfer with D minus. Others finish with C. Top golfer with A-, Demelmeyer at a 2B. Vasquez, Jeremiah James, no. Mateo Soto is going to beat out Demelmeyer. Hirano. All right, so this guy is going to be, what was that, a 36. A-, so Mateo Soto is going to be in that. That's one of my custom creations. We'll see how he fares. Now we need to take the low golfer, and they will finish with a D-. So those two guys, actually these four guys are all going to go there. And then the rest finish with C-. So, okay, now we got our two outstanding golfers, Sears and Barry. Let's see how this works out. So 12. Top golfer is going to contend with A+. We're going to have a dark horse. That will be Mackay Berry with a 2B. Darren Sears, let's see. Others finish with B-. So Darren Sears will be at B-. So how about that? We're going to have a couple of newbies contending for the Masters. So that's fun. So we'll see if Mackay, who has a nice, looks good with the woods and the putting, the rest of his game is a little off. But hey, you never know. Let's see what happens. So he doesn't get a perk. But all right, I'm going to stack up these cards from over here so that I can enter them into my spreadsheet, and that will automatically calculate their final scores. I also have I have what I would call a fudge factor in there which bases things on how the final groups fare in a round. If they really struggle to score, then I don't really see where a lot of these guys should do better because of the way that it goes. So I take these and I put these into this bag. Sorry that I'm not interacting with you tonight as much, but maybe I'll take a look here after we're finished up. So I've got these guys right here. Oh boy, yeah, it's gonna be a real freeze job in the next few weeks. Okay, so let me see. So we need to come over here to this side of the chart, and we came up with a target score of 283, which we're going to be over 277. So let me see. 209 for the Masters through 3 rounds. What would that be? So that's a 72. That makes it, what, 216? So 209 be -7. This is actually going to be kind of tough. I'm going to need to make up some, I think I need to make up some additional place markers. So 209 from 216 is -7. These will work for right now, I think. These are some that I came up with for playing those play-in rounds. So we're going to have -5. That's 211. 212. 213. 214, 215, and 216. So the B+ guys could be at even par or 1 under. And so let me just double check here. We got 4 and 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we're gonna. These are the group guys we're gonna use. I don't think we had a B, so there's probably no emerging contenders that are really going to be able to come out of this pack. The only other thing I could do is, hold back Granberry and McAdams, but I think we're just going to play them out. So let's do that. But first, we need to do our determination, and so we will start with, let's start with the B pluses, which will be even par at 216 or 215 with a, so if it's a no, it's going to be 216 even par. If it's a dot, it's going to be 215. So we'll start with Gil Granbury. It's going to be at 1 under. And now Trent McAdams. He's going to start at even. All right, I can take care of this now. And what I'll do is I will shove this stuff over a bit so that way we're not quite as cramped over here. So now A minus can be -2 or -3. We're going to start with Carson Rodell. He'll be at 3 under. Trying to give us enough room here. Rance Aberley next. Okay, he'll be at -2. Martin Van Dyke, -2. Dustin Emmerich, -2. And Mateo Soto, one of the custom cards I made, he's also going to be at -2. So, okay. Now we've got the A's, which will be -4 or -5. So we'll start with Justin Wallace. He'll be -5. Yunli Song, -4. Gareth Leonard, -4. And Myung Cho, -4. Okay, and now Mackay Berry will either be -7 or -6. Mackay Berry, he'll be at -7. So he's going to get a 2-shot lead over Wallace, a 3-shot lead over Yun Song, Gareth Leonard, Myung Cho. So let's see. I think what we should do is we should take McAdams out of the, well, he's going to start more than 6 back. So I think he should be our Tourney Perk guy. So we're going to leave him out. And he will be the guy that if somebody, you know, if we roll Tourney Perks and he comes alive, it'll be him. Because he is more than 6 behind, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to have 11 golfers here. And in fact, you know what? Yeah, let's just do that. I'm tempted to just play him out and let him be be 7 back, but yeah. Well, B plus is typically not supposed to be. All right. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take Granbury off as well. I feel like we can't, but he's gonna be by himself. You know what? What the heck? This is a major. We're going to play we're going to go with, and what we'll do is we will give McAdams 6 holes. Actually, we'll give them 3 holes to get to 6 back. Oh boy, see, that just that's messed up. What do I do? I'm gonna get my stuff out here for a second and think about it. So bear with me. I got to get my sheet out, and we're gonna do pairings because that's what they do in the Masters. So I got to find my pairings scorecards, and we'll set up the pairings. Here we go. All right. Executive decision. We're only going to do 10 golfers. Those 2 guys are going to be our emerging contenders, possibly. So, and I'm expecting that we will have not so low scores, so there's a chance both these guys could come in those final few holes. So we're just going to have 10 golfers. I think that's the way to go. Granbury and McAdams are going to play, but they're just going to be back a ways. So this is the 2018 Masterful. At Champions Course. Okay. So, oh, is that Lobster? Lobster Johnson. That's sounds like such a golfer's name for some reason. I think I'm doing this right. I think you have to pull those guys out. We've got 10 contenders, and those last 2, if we had 2 more that were a little further up the chart. Now what I'm gonna have to do is tomorrow morning I'm gonna make those for anybody who doesn't have a thingamajigger. I'm going to make them one. So, okay. So our final round contenders is going to be first place. It's going to be Mackay Berry. He is at 209. Second place is Justin Wallace at 211. 2 back. Tied for third is Yun Lee Song. Gareth Leonard and Myung Cho. Sixth is Carson Rodell. Oh, so Yun Lee Song is at, and those 3 are at 212. 213 is Rodell. Tied for 7th are Rance Aberley, Martin Van Dyke, Dustin Emmerich, and Mateo Soto. They are at 214, 5 strokes back. And I'm not even going to list the other 2 guys. So our pairings are going to be Emmerich and Soto. Aberley and... Oh, wait. I need to skip those guys. Where did my... Uh-oh. What did I do with my quicker picker upper? I hate it when that happens. Misplace something. That's not it, is it? No. I missed my whiteout stick. I misplaced it. It's gone missing. Well, let's, we're gonna... Emmerich and Soto. We'll just ignore the other one. Then we're gonna do Aberle, Van Dyke. Okay, and then Cho and Rodell. Lee Song and Leonard. And then Barry and Wallace. For our Masters, or Masterful. Well, I keep saying that wrong, but that's okay. Now, let me look at it here. It will turn up, but that's a bit disconcerting that I misplaced my basically my eraser. I love that thing, man. Did I put it in here by some strange... Nope. She's gone. Oh, I better learn how to face. She's gone. I don't know. So I guess I better stop wasting time. Oh, I know where it is. I know where it is. So here's the thing. I have my beer here, and like right behind it, like right there, over here to the side, yeah, out of my view is my... I'm sure that's not the first time beer has blocked something from somebody's vision. Usually it's the looks of the person they're staring at, I guess, right? But, all right. So what do we got left? Well, we have two things. So now that I got this set up, I can put these kind of over top. I don't want to mess them up, but we can do this. All right, so we've got to come up with the tournament conditions. So first what we need for that is we need the game action book. That's where the weather chart is, and this is... What is this? What is Georgia? You would call that humid subtropical, I guess? Southern U.S.? Your guess is as good as mine, but we're going to have it in April, so we've got a chance for rainy conditions, windy conditions, or slow greens. So let's open this back up again, and we will roll. So that is either 11, 22, or 66. And it's 26, so we're going to have normal conditions. I'm going to doctor up Augusta a bit. And what I mean by that is I'm going to take a look at some of the holes. We're going to firm up some of the greens. Let's see. See, we don't have greens here that have much firm to them. So what we're going to do is we're going to make some of these a little bit less. I mean, we got a lot of daunting holes here at Augusta, but we're going to make it. I'm going to take a little bit of a license here. Try to make things a little less cordial for the golfers. Okay, but all right. So the last thing that I need to do is we've got these tourney perks and issues that we need to address, and that comes off of this chart. So I'll lay this right here. You're probably not going to be able to read it very well, but I will read it to you. We roll 1d6. So Justin Wallace, he will have a tourney issue or a perk. Let me get my pen before I lose that this time. So Tribe Fans Mets project, they are on a 2-game win streak, and that's not a very good Mets team. He is a glutton for punishment, playing out. I think he already did an Indians season where they had a pretty rough time of it, and the Mets in real life, and I think he did pretty well to get it back to even par, if I can use the golf euphemism. But all right, so Justin Walton, and I think the Mets, he's trying to do the same thing with a team that's not so good. But all right, so Justin Wallace, his perk or issue is going to be caddy related. I will pull this up a little closer so you can see what the various choices are when it comes to his caddy. And so we will re-roll. I'm going to give it a really good shake, and it's going to be a 6. Caddy conflict, no blue chips this round, so he cannot earn a blue chip. So that's going to be a major hurdle for Wallace. Alrighty then. Yun Lee Song. Let's see what his... See it there shaking around. It'll be a media issue, and I will show you the media issues to choose from. Also to note that with these question marks, if it had been any of those for Wallace, we would have rolled the decider die after that, and if it was yes, then it would be a till further notice. But see, we're going off media. There aren't any like that. So let's take this die and give it a really good shake again and see what comes up. It's another 3. So he will start the round with, we re-roll the die, and he will get that many blue chips. So Wallace will get no blue chips in his round. Yun Lee Song will get 1. Starts with 1 blue chip. Lucky him. Tribe Fan's going to give us a full update when he gets through the month of May. He is at May 20th right now, so that's how you do it. You just keep playing the games. Sometimes it's not easy. Gareth Leonard, the next guy with a perk or issue. That is also going to come off the media. We will roll off of number 3, and it will be... He's also going to get blue chips, another 3. How many blue chips? 2. So Gareth Leonard starts with 2 blue chips. Okay. And if you recall, he's 3 behind, so that's a nice value for him, I would say, if you're a betting man. Justin Wallace not having blue chips, it's going to be a pretty tough round for him. He's going to have to make some putts on his own volition, and because those blue chips really come in handy for doctoring up the old, basically giving him confidence on a longer putt. So, all right, last one is Myung Cho, who I believe has come off of his stormy quality. And it's going to be 4. Well, look, he's got some clubhouse conflicts or alliances with other golfers. So, let's see. That's what he's got available to him. And what's going to happen to him? We're rolling, and it is a 3. He will start the round with a certain number of blue chips. Let's see. So if he can get more than 2, maybe he's the guy you're going to want to put your money on. I don't know. 5. Okay, so he's got 5 blue chips to start this round. So that's an advantage. I mean, that's, depending on how you play them, that's potentially 2 birdies right there. So, all let's go ahead and I'm going to lay these out here at the moment, just so that way so we got Leonard with 2. We've got Lee Song with 1. And Cho with a quintet. There. Okay, so I think we've handled all of the third round pre-tourney things. I'm going to get the other 2 dice out of here. Get that guy. Get him ready. I'll put the D20 out of the way. We don't really need him anymore. So that's that. Here is your leaderboard. Again, we've taken 2 of the B pluses. There are only 2, but because one of them is 7 back, I decided that because they're B pluses, they would be better off we would hold on to them to be emerging contenders. There aren't any more B pluses to be able to use as that. So unfortunately, they're 2 of the better golfers. It's Granbury and McAdams, who have been, one's a winner, the other has been pretty evident. We've got Emmerich here, he's been in some tournaments. We got Aberley, who's been in one. Cho's been in one. Leonard's been around. I think the thing is, here on this list, there are no current winners. So we should have a new winner here on the Tenacious Golf Tour. And we should get started with this in the morning. Try to roll this thing out tomorrow, I think, and see who comes away with a major title to their credit. So before we get started, like I said, I'm going to try to doctor up Champions Course a bit. I want to put in some firm greens on some of the holes, try to get them playing a little tougher. Since we've got to try, the target score is going to be -9, so we really only want, from these guys, we want a -4 or -5. I don't know. Maybe I'll leave the course the way it is, because, like, if Mackay Berry were to win, he would need a -2, which is doable. And, there's a lot of daunting holes on this course, so maybe I'll firm up 2 holes. I'll have to take a look and see. So, turn this around. That's where we stand. I don't want to eat up much more time, but I don't know. Some people probably enjoy these types of scenarios where you roll things out. Probably what most people would enjoy is the actual playing of the tournament, and that's what we will get to tomorrow. So we will play basically 10 rounds of golf, if you will. Because we're gonna have 10 guys playing Augusta. So good stuff. I think the more I think about it, let's see, what's number 9? Is that firm? If that's not firm, it's going to be firm in this round. That's going to be a firm green. I don't know. That's probably not the greatest example of firm. 6 is firm on this. So that's already a firm hole. I think we'll leave 9 okay. Let's see. What about 14? That's a challenging green. We're going to make that firm. That thing can really skip off the back. You have a long approach on 14, and it can be, 10's another one we could make firm. So maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll end up with 3 holes that are firm. We'll have 6, which is automatically firm by the designer. We will firm up number 10, and we will firm up number 14. So we'll leave 17 and 18 alone. Obviously, you've got Amen Corner, which is 11. Par 4 down the hill with a pond front left in play. If you decide to challenge a front left pin or even a back left pin, you're flirting with the pond. 11, if you recall, is, and what we will do is If we have a playoff, we would do we would replay 18, and then we go up 10 and 11 and 12. That would be our um, I believe they go 12 um, on the playoff. If I was going to say with 11, if you recall, that is where the famous playoff shot of Larry Mize defeating, um, I believe it was Greg Norman. Greg Norman hit a shot that was on the green but a long ways away. Larry Mize missed. He got a bit frightened of the pond in front, so he left it, blocked it to the right out in that big swale between the green and the 12th tee. He proceeded to chip it in and hold it out. If you've ever watched the Masters, you would uh, absolutely see the highlight of him jumping around, and for to have Greg Norman even try to make a putt after that spectacle to try and tie that, it was just almost unfair to him, but fair play to Larry Mize, who became a Masters champion with that shot. The 12th, par 3, another part of Amen Corner, a short par 3, a very thin green. You have a bunker in front, you got Rays Creek in front. So basically, Rays Creek goes from be in front of the front left bunker. So the green is kind of somewhat kidney shaped, but it's thin and it kind of bulbs out to the front right. But right there is Rays Creek. If you leave it short, it invariably is very firm in front. They cut it as short as they can, and that ball will roll right back into the creek. So, and behind you have all sorts of brush. There is a little bit of an area to land. So there is a place to sort of play safe because you definitely do not want to go in the water. Then you got to take a drop, and it's going to be at least a bogey, maybe double. 13 is the end of Amen Corner. It's a par 5 that is reachable in 2. Uh, actually, yeah, that may be Rays Creek. 12 might be the tributary to Rays Creek, so you got to keep those in mind. You've got those two things. So I think Rays Creek may actually go down 13, but that actually kind of runs caddy corner to the green. It's sort of a diagonal, goes across there, so you hit your tee shot out into the fairway, or you try to keep it right because it's a dog leg left. And if you try to cut that corner too much, it'll hit the overhanging trees and you'll be somewhat in jail. So a lot of guys will even leave it out under some trees to the right where you can still make a shot either into the green or lay up about 100 yards out, and you can approach that green and still make your birdie. 14, par 4. The green is tricky. You have to know where the undulations are. They usually have them very fast, and so if you a lot of times what they'll do on Sunday is they'll put the pin in a spot where if you try to attack it straight out like a pro golfer wants to do, he wants to put a lot of backspin and just go right after it, you're going to either end up flying the green, you're going to bounce off the back of the green and you won't be able to bring it back because of the way the contours are, or you'll just barely miss, leave it short, and it'll suck off the front. So what they invariably need you to do is, or what they're trying to get you to do is to play a controlled shot with a certain spin on it, maybe 20 to 30 feet to the left of the pin. If you control your spin, the slope will gently bring that ball right down to within 5 to 6 feet of the pin. So that's 14. Seems like a somewhat yawner of a hole when it comes to the back nine, because the rest of the back nine, almost all the back nine, is famous besides that. But 14 is sort of a respite from. Then you go to 15, another par 5. Pond in front, reachable in 2. The green's reachable. Eagle chance, Sarazen's double eagle back in the day, famous shot that helped him win. So basically, he holed a shot from the fairway back in the 30s, I believe, maybe 40s, to become a winner at Augusta. Then you've got 16, par 3, pond front left, uh, number of number of famous shots. What they usually do is put the pin front left, another one of these that you're best off trying to use the slope of the green to your advantage. If you try to fly at that, you're trying to cross a bunker. You're also, if you pull it a bit, you flirt with the pond. If you leave it right and you play at the right distance, that slope with how fast the greens are will feed the ball down near the hole, and you will usually have an uphill putt for birdie from beneath the hole if you play it that way. And plus, if you pull it, then you may actually be on a line with the hole, and you still have a chance to get yourself within with a birdie putt. It may not be as close as if you do it right. Maybe the most recent famous shot, Tiger Woods flew the green. He was in the thick stuff. I don't think he was in the bunker. I think he was in the thick stuff, and he had to play the most touch filled shot I've ever seen on probably any hole. I mean, it's like Tom Watson, except let's say Tom Watson at the 17th at Pebble in the U.S. Open, except Tom Watson really did not hit that probably the way that he needed to make that something that had a real shot. If it doesn't hit the pin on that shot, it's gone, and he's got probably a 25-foot putt back for par. Woods, he lofts this to that part of the green that's high. It's on the right, but from the back of the green, it's a shot to the left, and he's playing it almost perpendicular to his line to the hole. And he puts the most deft touch on the ball. It lands, and it just slowly rolls down, and it stops on the lip. I mean, it just stops there for 5 seconds, 6 seconds, 7 seconds, boom, drops in. He flips out. The crowd flips out. I'm not a Tiger fan by any stretch, but you have to give credit where credit's due. The guy just he had a way of kind of like Tom Brady in football, pulling shots out of his rear end in the great moments, and right there you go with that. So 17. Another thing about Augusta that I think is awesome. I don't have too much longer, but let's just go through this a little bit, because I'll tell you what, Jim Nantz talks through a pregame for the for the Masters. So let's do this. So 17, and well, I was going to talk about 17, but there's not. I would say it's kind of like a 14 hole. There's not a lot of water. There's no water. I think there's the Eisenhower tree. It's the green and the bunker and stuff. But this is what I think the thing is about the Masters. I really think they use their camera work. CBS does a great job with camera work to add sort of a mystique. Like, not every shot. Like, I feel like a lot of courses, if after you watch the tournament, you have a really good sense of what the course is about. And I think there's so many nuances to Augusta that they just leave people wanting more, because they just don't give you the whole thing. 17's kind of like that. 17 kind of has a green that's it's not like side to side, it's not back to front, it's sort of like caddy corner. You got a bunker in front, and it's kind of like, there's a lot of contour. You just don't get to see much of it. And I think that's great. I mean, I love that about Augusta, because I just don't think they give you a lot to chew on. 18, you come out of a chute off the tee, plenty of landing area. The green is relatively accessible. You got a bunker, you got to carry. Usually the pin on Sunday is going to be in this swale. You've got sort of a cushion behind. You've got a hill in front that if you bound off of it, you got a lot of spin. You carry to the upslope that's behind the hole that will kind of feed back down, and you'll end up with a putt. Basically, it's a shot that if you can control your emotions, you're there. Um, a lot of guys have made famous putts. Mickelson, I think Garcia this past year. I think Woosnam made a putt a long time ago, if I recall. Sandy Lyle, maybe. Foldo. You know, the list goes on and on. So, anyway, I'm going to shut it off here. Tomorrow morning, we'll get started with the Masterful Tournament. Good night, everybody. God bless. And enjoy your tabletop games. Thanks for the comments on the live stream here. I wish I could see more of them, but when you get busy, you can't. But I love hearing about projects that other people are doing. I do look at Facebook. I tend to look at the group. I mean, I don't look at it all the time, but I do try to check out and see what other people are doing. So we appreciate you posting stuff there. Keep up the good work, guys. Keep playing games. Keep spreading the word. We appreciate you and see you tomorrow. Thanks a lot and good night.